All right, so in this video, I'm gonna be talking about anger and how to get rid of it, right? I'm not no psychologist, I'm me, and I'm only speaking from experiences. And I can tell you that I've had so many instances where things have upset me, things have thrown me off my game, things have tricked me up out of my spot. So I'm only speaking from, what I know. And if you're anything like me, I'm from Brownsville. At the end of the day, you grow up pretty on edge. And it's kind of like the language, especially in New York City, where you just kind of have to have that backbone to you. But the trick is to detach. It's really just to detach. And I've recently found this out because, honestly speaking, when we think about the things that upset us, we only get mad about it because we think things could change, or we think that we deserve better from whatever the situation may be. And that's usually like the root cause of anger. Like, you're only angry about something because you know you deserve better. You're only angry about something because you respect this thing and you care for it. And with that in mind, it's also important to understand that when you are angry, anger kills wisdom. And you don't want to be killing your wisdom. You need that. You need to think about what's beneficial for you at all times. You need to constantly be in that state of mind. That needs to be your baseline. It's okay to feel, and I'm not going to tell you not to feel. You could be upset about things, but that's what you do when you're upset that matters the most. And I'm even learning that as a man, you really can't be as emotionally reactive. But I'll go across the board and say everybody shouldn't be emotionally reactive. Everybody should kind of be in control of their emotions. In a perfect world, we would all be in control of our emotions because we would know to do the right thing all the time, But I understand that that's a practice. You got to work towards that. You got to take your time and develop that muscle, because at the end of the day, self-control is a muscle that we had to develop. Some of us don't have it right away. Some of us learn it early in our early stages of life. But, it's a part of the human experience. So if you feel like you struggle with anger, this video is definitely for you. So what I had to learn was the law of detachment. I had to learn that life itself, there is a lot of impermanence to it. Not everything is meant to last forever. Relationships, dynamics, situations, circumstances, opportunities, not everything is meant to last forever. You know what I'm trying to say? There's a day where something could always, that possibility of something ending could always happen. A lot of the times we feel entitled and we think that, this thing could never end for me. What have you known to start anew or come into existence and not be able to be wiped out or taken out? I don't know what thing that is. I really don't know. But all I'm gonna say is you gotta accept that there are things in life that are impermanent. And then you also have to understand that you gotta release your expectations. Expectations will lead you to having the biggest disappointment. And the greater the expectation, the greater the disappointment. The greater the expectation, the more anger and frustration you could potentially have. And you got to be mindful of that, because there's nothing wrong with having expectations. I'm never going to take that away from you. I'm never going to take that away from anybody, because even I still have expectations. But it's to understand that when you have expectations, you have to be realistic with them. Are your expectations in alignment with reality? And that's where most of us go wrong with. Some of us have expectations and they aren't in alignment with reality. So whenever we come up in a situation, we end up being angry about it. Then we end up learning something new, and then we like, oh damn, maybe I shouldn't have reacted that way. Maybe I overreacted. Yeah, you think? You definitely did. So now we want to make sure that doesn't happen no more. We don't want you to be overreacting no more. We want you to be in full control of yourself. We want you to always be inside of your integrity. We don't want you stepping away from it. And then you got to practice a little bit of stoicism too, You got to know that, the only thing that you really in control of is you. A funny little story I heard about that was, if a man is at a beach and he's standing in front of the ocean, and he yells and screams and commands that ocean to rise, will that ocean water rise? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't do anything but be the ocean. It's gonna come in, come out on the top. Like, you can't control the water. You're not. I already know who can control the water, and that's God. And you're not God. We're not God. So you gotta understand, like, you gotta be in control of you. You gotta know that. You gotta know that you cannot control the things around you. Sometimes I think society as a whole is just a bunch of illusions. But that's a conversation for another day. But you gotta be mindful of that. You know, you're not in control of anybody else but you, and you gotta think about that. You gotta think about that severely. Even when you're interacting with other people, even when you're in situations, even when something happens to you, you gotta know that the only thing you're in control of is you. So if something happens that disappoints you, all right, great. I'm gonna choose to react to it this way, because you know what? It's not worth me reacting any other way. It's already happened, it's already gone. I can't change it, I can't do nothing about it. It is what it is. And if you can do something about it, then you take those actionable steps towards it, instead of reacting in a way where you're mad at anyone around you or the situations around you. Like, you can't make that mistake. And I'm speaking from experience. It doesn't help. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't change anything. The most people or things that happen is just you just putting out your energy out there. That's it. That's it. I mean, I don't know. That doesn't really do anything for me, and it probably won't do anything for you. But I will tell you is, once you practice some of these things that I've kind of, spoken on, you'll find a little bit more inner peace. Because at the end of the day, problems don't stop. This is life. All men is meant to suffer. It don't matter if you're rich, poor, in the middle, in between, right below it, slightly above it. Rainfall on every man's doorstep. That's it. And you got to know that. Rain falls on every man's doorstep. Remember that. No one is better than the next man. No one of us is better than the other. We will all face suffering to some extent in this life. Some on a grand scale, some on a minimal scale, whatever your mental can handle. It's all about what you feel like you can handle at the end of the day. You just got to remember what you do have. And I always tell you, in order to get in the right state of mind, remember the things that you are grateful for. Remember the things that you are grateful for. Open up that journal, go to Target, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Every morning, practice it. Make it a practice. Do it for a year straight. Tell me how you feel afterwards, especially when someone complains to you. You're gonna be like, damn, this person's complaining about this situation, but they have all this other stuff going for them. Why aren't they focusing on that? Why aren't they putting their attention on everything else? But we don't understand that as human beings, we're the most resilient creatures. We're the most tenacious. There are broke people who still find a way to get through the month. It don't even matter what it is, but they find a way. They find a way. There's no excuse. We are tenacious. Even if one thing doesn't work out, guess what? You have another chance to make the next thing work out. You always have a choice. You always have an opportunity to improve. You always have an opportunity to improve. And they don't tell us this. They don't give us these tools to understand that. They don't encourage us to believe in ourselves. And that's why I do this content, because I don't really believe in the brain rot. Like there's so many reasons to be upset. There's so many reasons to be mad. But I don't want to subscribe to that no more. And I don't think you should either. Because at the end of the day, the world is bigger than what we know it as. Some of us don't even travel, so we never even get to experience the beauty of this world. We get trapped in the hood. We get trapped in an environment that's not like conducive or productive towards our mental health, and we think that's all the world is. And some of us never make it out to see that the world is better than what we know or what we know it to be. But that's life. That's the reality. Some of us fall into those pitfalls. And because of that, they never grow, they never change. But don't be one of those people. Let those people who don't change be the reminders for you to grow past whatever it is that you're struggling with. To grow past whatever battles that you're struggling with, for real. Because you have to do it. No one else. If you want to have a legacy, if you want to build a better future for yourself, if you want to make sure that, hey, I know that I'm a survivor. I know God put this special thing in me. And I don't only have potential just because I'm young. People think, oh yeah, because I'm young, that's the only time I'll ever have the potential to fulfill anything. No. This in you regardless of age. And you gotta fulfill that. You could be in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. You always got that inner child inside of you. And you gotta honor them by understanding that, okay, I gotta give them what they need. I gotta teach them what they should have been taught. You understand? Because we can't expect other people to give us the tools that we need. Sometimes we gotta go after it ourselves. We are responsible for ourselves. We don't need anybody else to fulfill us. And once you understand self-sufficiency, you'll know that everything else will be okay. Everything else will be okay. Everything else will fall into place. You don't need nobody else to validate you. You don't need nobody else to believe in you. You don't need nobody else to do it. If they validate you, if they believe in you, great. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's the best thing. That's the best thing. You know what I'm trying to say? Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't take that for granted. But know that that can't be your fuel and your source. You can't be fueled off the energies of this world. Sometimes you gotta really give it to yourself. Because there's so many different energies. If you take in everything, who's to say some dirty energy won't be absorbed by you? We're human beings. We're energetic. It's gonna happen. We're magnetic. You're gonna be doing something and somebody's not gonna like it, and they're gonna emit their energy. You're gonna feel it, and you're gonna be like, damn, that person was really disgusting. I didn't like that. It was really slimy being around them. You know? But here's the thing though, when you have it right within yourself, you understand that those are just projections. That's how they feel about themselves. And you gotta know not to take things personal. Stop taking things personal. Others' actions aren't a reflection of you or your latitude in your life. You could go far. It's all on your attitude. It's all on your mindset. It's all how you feel about you on the inside. It's all about your level of conviction. And you gotta have conviction. You have to have it. And you gotta know that it's strong and it's buried deep inside you. It's always gonna be inside you. That's what gets you to get up. That's what gets you to watch this video. That's what's getting you to try, to do. Not even to try, to do it. You know what I'm trying to say? Don't even say you trying no more. Say you doing it. Tell yourself that you're doing it. I'm getting better every day. I'm consuming different things and I'm incorporating different stuff into my diet to make sure that I'm healthier. I'm eating healthier. I'm watching different videos. I'm reading. I'm going to the gym. I'm doing things that are uncomfortable. I'm not letting things stop me. I'm not letting my brain stop me from doing the things that are challenging or hard. You're doing it, and you got to tell yourself that. So now you go start focusing on yourself and understanding that energy is inside of you. There's nothing more for you to be angry about. There's nothing more. Detach from it. Detach from anything that pulls your energy away. Accept it. Allow it to be what it is. Allow things to be authentic. In other words, you don't try to change it or control it, and you gotta recognize when you're trying to change it or control it. You gotta recognize that. Your power, your true power, is in your ability to reflect. Your reflective ability determines your true power. If you could reflect, you could do anything else in this world. You could grow past so many heights. You could grow past so many things. You'll reach new heights. People underestimate the power of learning a lesson. And I promise you, when you learn that lesson, it'll only be more fruitful to you. When you take the time to observe your mind and see the thoughts passing by it, you'll treat them like clouds. Like, you know what? I'm angry about this thing right now. I'm experiencing anger. But realistically speaking, if I act on this anger, will it help me? Will it benefit me? Am I using that anger constructively? You know what I'm trying to say? Or how can I use this anger constructively? That's it. You gotta just think a little bit more. And you gotta forgive yourself too. You gotta forgive yourself for the past mistakes you made. That's also a big part of it. Give yourself the grace. Stop worrying about things. Look at what's in front of you right now, right? Be in the present moment. Be mindful. I don't have to think about nothing else right now. Like right in front of me, I'm walking. I'm walking to the gym. What would I be worried about? What would I be angry about? I got situations going on in my life too. I got people who don't even like me. I got people who I love that don't even like me. You know what I'm trying to say? I got people who betrayed me. I got people who are preying on my downfall. What do I got to be angry for them for? They're where they're at. I'm where I'm at. I'm doing what I can for me. It's never going to stop me. And it should never stop you too. Because I'm telling you, that anger, it can do so much damage to you. You don't want it no more. You don't want it no more. What you want is to be disciplined. You want to be focused. You want to make sure that you're only focusing on yourself. Because guess what? That's how you attract better things. Those relationships can always come back in a different form, in another way. But right now in the moment, what you have is you. That's my video, y'all. Remember to detach, release expectations, accept that there's impermanence in life, because nothing is permanent, and don't take things personal. Release that anger. Deuces, y'all.